So very quickly, this will be for everyone. So everyone to understand how some things work. I'm making a very condensed theoretical video on this particular issue, so I can guide you all on what to do, how to actually flow. Okay, so we have a problem here, a very simple problem. A very simple problem. And to address this problem, I need to do a couple of things. I like the way you actually worked with this particular section. I need to do a couple of things to make you understand some things and how it works. Okay, so we have this section existing somewhere, but I don't need to open it to show you what I mean. Now, we have a container here. There shouldn't be a container, a div here guiding these things. If elements are stacked vertically, do not add any div. It is only when elements that are stacked vertically or horizontally have more other content inside it, that is when you add a div, because you are going to still add another div that is going to guide all of those elements like we have here now. You see, this div is guiding everything. But this one, there is no need of any div here because this is an icon element, this is a text element, and this is a body text. No need of adding a div here. No need of adding a div at all. So this div practically should be out of here. It should be out of here, and we can't separate that now because this div is actually consuming a particular space. So to achieve whatever we want, we have to select on this particular content, go to gap and give it a gap of 20 or 22 so that we can have a space to select. Now, the idea is for us to be able to select an area, or for us to be able to drag in our content. Let's select this particular one now and pull it down here. You see? So why I created that space so that I'll be able to select that particular empty space. So we drag in the second one under it, we drag in the third one under this content. Then this div here now, we delete it. We don't need this div. We don't need this div. So why do we delete this div? Now watch closely. Before we deleted this div, we were finding it difficult to select on the container guiding everything because we have an issue here. We selected on this container. I wonder why you are having two containers. We have two containers here now. We have number one container. As you can see, we can see another blue pink container here. See another div here. You see it? So we are supposed to have only one container guiding all of these things, not two containers. You have two containers here. No. When you create a section, you drop in one container, then start dropping in the containers which you are going to use in building all of these things. Anyway, the video I made on practical is going to explain all of this in detail. I'm going to publish that this night, so you'll be able to see that in practical. Okay? So for this, we have this div here. We have to select on this div outside here. We are trying to solve the problems we have here now. You see, we have two divs, one div inside and one div outside. So what we need to do is to select the div inside, and we want to move that div outside. We don't want this div inside. So move it out. Put it under this one. Can it stay there? Perfectly. Staying under this one. Let's put this one back to where it's coming from. Very good. So you see that div we have extra here. Select on that div and we delete it. We don't need that div. Okay, so what we need is what? A section, which is this one, then a div, which is this one guiding everything. Then we drop in our content as we want it from here. Then we drop in another div, and in that div we drop in our content like this. That's simply what we need. And why do we go this long process? Because we want to actually control things the way from a particular angle. We don't want to control things, setting something in this div, going to another div, set something and go to another div. No, we don't want to be going through all those stress. Okay, so first off, let's fix the problem that we have from here. Select on this div over here, go to size and spacing. I think it's having a bottom padding that is too much. Let's see where that bottom padding is coming from. Maybe from this one. It should be a top padding. It's not coming from there. Let's select on the div guiding everything. Let's go to gap. We clear out all the gapping. Very good. Okay, and everything is okay from here, or almost okay from there. Let's go to that place, spacing. The bottom, we want to clear that out. Okay, okay, that is actually padding. Okay, very good. The bottom margin is the margin we want to clear. We wanted this to be closer, so instead of even going here, we'll just hover on this and adjust it a little. You don't have to push your content like that. What you push very far is button. So if in case we added button at the bottom part of this, let's say a button here. Have we added button where we're not supposed to add button? And you're making another little tiny mistake. Okay, that's not a mistake. That's perfect. That's okay. Thought you added another container here. So we added a button. I just want to show you an example of that. So in this one now, we need to add a margin that will separate the button a little more like this. That's the case we do, not in icons. Icons should be closer towards the other contents. That's number 2. Number 3, select on this particular text. The text you are using here, I don't know, it is too stretched out. So text, the sizing of text, the width should be 60% here. Okay, enough. Then the text size, I don't like that size you use there. So let's go 17, or let's see 18. Perfect. Okay, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18 is still okay. The width is 500. Let's see 400. 400 is fine. Don't go too thick. Okay. So now the next thing, let's work on this particular one. We want this content to be 80% width. Width of it should be 80%. Look at what we have in here. This is 60% or thereabouts. So let's check out how many percent it is. We select on the div guiding everything, which we can do easily now because we have actually filtered all of those issues. If we want this space to be closer, we want it to be closer to each other. Let's select on this and see if it is having a margin bottom. I think it's having a margin bottom from there. So we adjust it a little. Okay. Don't make that kind of space. It's too much. Adjust a little and we are good to go. Now we select on the div guiding everything. Let's not be distracted. And we go to size and spacing. Let's see in the size and spacing what we give it. Give it 100% width and 100% height. So this is 100% width, which means the constraint of this width is coming from our section, not our div. So what do? We go to our structure panel and we select on the section. We actually select on the section right now. For real. For real. Okay. Let's figure out where that problem is coming from. So we select on that section. Let's find out where that problem is coming from. Hope we didn't give this a class. So let's figure out the problem right now and right here. Let's figure out the problem right now, right here. Okay, look at where the problem is coming from. I taught this in the other lesson, which I believe you have watched. Watch very closely. Select on this section. We go over to size and spacing. You see over here, that says section container width. Make sure this is in full width. Bam. You understand that? Make sure it is in full width. Don't make that mistake again. Okay, as you can see this section over here, it is full width. You made it full width, I think. You see it? Why then didn't you make this other one full width? So that's the problem you're having most times, that the thing is, even though you make it 100%, it's still the same thing. Okay, make sure the section first of all is 100%, or just make it full width. Now we've made it full width. We can now select on the section, this section now guiding everything, because you're supposed to, first of all, when you drop this section, you made a mistake again. When you drop this section, you're supposed to drop a container first that will guide even this particular element. That's the container now, is the container that you're going to constrain all of this element with. But you didn't do so. You only drop the container and put all of these elements, drop another container and put all of this. No, there should be a container after the overall container after the section. Overall container after the section. You still made the okay, you didn't make the mistake here. So you see it, section, overall container. So you didn't put container separate for this one, container separate for this one. Though these ones might have container separate for them, but we have an overall container, which is what we are missing from here. So what we only have here is a section what container, which is totally wrong. But let's assume there is an inner container. So we select on this one, which is inner one. We want to go to advanced, go to size and spacing. Here we have to make it 80% width, and that is what we need. Okay, in this one, since we don't have that particular one constraining, we have to go over there and resize it. So instead of width 60%, let's make the width 40%, because it's now assuming 100%. So the more it's assumed, the more we reduce. You get the point? So once we are done now, I think we are good to go. We can save our work, save it, and we check from the front end how it looks. So this is what we have before now. As you can see it, now let's refresh it. See? So this is what I'm looking for. See how everything is not constrained? Full width, making more sense, making a lot of sense. This is exactly what we are looking at. The text itself, we have enough space to breathe and enough space for content and all of that. Okay? So I'm going to destroy all of these things I did. You are going to redo it again. You're going to destroy all of this. You're going to redo it again. So I'm going to do Ctrl-Z all the way back in time so that you're going to do it again. I hope this explains the issue you're having about a container. This is very simple and straight to the point. Do have a wonderful day.